Ladies and gentlemen, and now let's meet our casters.
Welcome everyone to GameOn 2017 League of Legends Finals. Make some noise for the teams as well. Woo!
Today we're joined with me and my great colleague, Žygimantas Knock1 Trišūnas.
And on my partner on the left, it's Algirdas Gricius, chosen one. And we're excited for the matches. Gameplay DNA playing from the home, we're excited for them. Also Team Singularity coming from UK and Germany, really talented players. Both teams have the Masters and Challengers in solo queue, so it's going to be the top-notch, the best players in the Europe West, probably. I'm excited to see them, some good 5v5s, and as Jankavičius just mentioned, some pentakills as well.
Yes, and it's actually really interesting to see them coming into Lithuania to play, to defend their title. And I think it's going to be an amazing show. I hope we're going to see 3 games.
The players, they're getting ready. The team speaks already on. As we see that players are already in the game, trying to get them the aim booster for Croxen. Now we know why he's challenger.
Yeah, we're seeing the skill level where it's coming from. We're seeing players talking to each other, fixing up their sounds to understand each other. Frankly, we're seeing coaches actually being deployed in the background.
And as we saw, it was Arnax, the coach of Team Gameplay DNA, who was having his split with the Gambit Academy in Russian LCL. And now he's here as a coach, so he's just sharing his experience with Lithuanian team, and both of the teams are ready. And we didn't mention before, we didn't cover that Team Singularity, they just won 7,500 euros in cross-border esports tournament just 1 week ago. So they're definitely showing up, showing great results in the other tournaments. So I'm really excited to see how they go in this one.
Yeah, and I think the players should show us an amazing experience as well. We're seeing Team Singularity's coach standing behind them. I think players had some issues with the headphones. Hopefully everything's sorted out. We wouldn't want them to have any trouble at all.
Yeah, what are your expectations for the game? How the teams are going to play? Is it going to be a 4-0-1? Is it going to be 1-3-1 composition? Are they going for the team fights? Are they going for the poke? The art meta is here, but we're seeing in solo queue that aggressive supports are coming back to meta as well, like Trash, Braum, Alistar. And what are the expectations for the game? What are they going to show up?
It's true. We're currently playing on 7.17 patch, so the nerfs on Cinderhulk have not been deployed yet. We still have the tanky top laners showing up as well.
The tanky junglers as well, the Cinderhulk.
Yes, pretty much teams used to be running tank compositions all over, but we saw ZTY pulling in that Jax in the top lane, really strong split pusher coming in throughout the whole game.
We're back again, and probably we're going into champion selector right away. Without any further ado, we're going to see the champions being picked in. There we go. Team Gameplay DNA and Team Singularity are ready to face off each other. And we're starting off with the ban phase.
At last we're into the champion select. We're running 3 bans, 2 bans situation. So teams can play around that as well. They can try to ban certain counter picks, for example, in the mid lane or in the top lane. So I'm really interested in how Gameplay DNA are gonna approach this.
Oh, we're seeing Kale getting banned right away because Kerberos is known for his Kale in the top lane. He was one-trick pony at the top lane playing Kale only and none of the other champions. We saw that the teams have had troubles facing that Kale because she's just a ticking bomb in the top lane and you have to ban it out or you just play perfectly around it.
And it's true, she provides a ton of pressure throughout the whole game. She pushes the lane, forces you to come to the lane to protect the towers. You can run split push compositions really easily. She can protect the AD carry, as we know, the Ardent sensor meta as well. So Kale was a really strong pick coming in. And we're seeing a lot of AD carry bans. Kalista, Xayah, and Lucian taken away instantly.
Tristana is still open, but Sejuani is being prioritized by Team Gameplay DNA. As we mentioned before, we're playing on 7.17 patch, and the Cinderhulk junglers are just insanely strong. So Gameplay DNA acknowledges that and takes Sejuani as their first pick. But as a response, Tristana was open, as I mentioned before, and they're just, without any further ado, just picking Tristana. And I think that's a great pick. If they're going to go for a Cinderhulk or they're going for aggressive pick, it doesn't matter because Tristana just finds her way into any game.
And Rakan picked up. I would consider Rakan one of the strongest supports currently in the metagame. He just provides so much CC, so much disruption throughout the whole game.
And also he can bull Ardent Sensor, so it's really strong, and it was not nerfed in patch 7.17. His nerf was just in the previous few days, so they actually have really great abusement of the patch.
And we're seeing a really strong bot lane coming in, Rakan, Tristana, and Gameplay DNA actually picked up Braum and Cyber to counter that. So I'm really interested, how are they going to face that? They could try to just push them out and provide tons of CC with Braum, but we're seeing Team Singularity just opting out for that Zac, another Cinderhulk jungler.
Actually, I would expect some mid laners to show up as a third pick, but it seems that they're hovering up the jungler. They don't want to go for the Syndra and ban Fizz and Echo away. It would be a great tactic for Team Singularity on the right side while they have the opportunity to ban the mid laners out, but they're actually opting for Zac and banning Riven away.
Yeah, and we're seeing bottom lanes and junglers picked up instantly into the game, and now how are they going to approach the ban situation? What are they going to target?
I really like what Team Gameplay DNA did with the bans. They tried to ban out the Kerberos, his main two champions, Kale and Cho'Gath is banned away, and they're following up with more top lane bans. Camille is getting banned in the face too by Team Gameplay DNA. As we mentioned before in the qualifiers, STY, the top laner of Gameplay DNA, he was AD carry for several years, then he did a transition to top lane, and now he's playing only carry champions in the top lane. He's not comfortable in the tanks, he wants to carry the game alone, and the meta is unfavorable for him. Jace got banned away by Team Singularity, but the Riven, actually Riven is banned away as well.
So I'm really interested by the Riven ban. What is Team Singularity preparing for? Maybe they have a certain champion prepared for this tournament. They don't want any disruption for Riven. And as well, we're seeing Syndra being taken away in the ban phase. So Gameplay DNA has 4 seconds left to decide on the last ban.
And it's Orianna. I think Orianna is really great against Fizz, and Domas, the Team Gameplay DNA mid laner, he's known for his Fizz. He reached Challenger with several hundred points with Fizz only playing one champion. So he's definitely has something to respect. And it seems that Team Singularity are not afraid. Oh, the Cassiopeia is being locked in by X-Maddie, so it's going to be Cassiopeia in the mid lane against probably Fizz. If it's going to be Fizz, Cassiopeia has definitely upper hand right here.
I'm not even sure if they want to opt out for the Fizz, because they have a really weak early game, and I don't think Sejuani would be able to help Fizz out in the mid lane, so Corki being locked in is a way better choice for Gameplay DNA.
And as last pick, Jax is being locked in. As we mentioned, that STY is really comfortable on those carry champions. He managed to take the first blood solo against Iron Wolf's team in the top lane. So probably he just has enough confidence to pick that top lane. Jax, it's probably going to be Darius
in the top lane.
Actually, the game looks like a platinum or a gold because they're just opting for those carry champions. They don't really care about the team compositions. They're just going for the full solo lanes aggression, especially the bot lane. For the Team Gameplay DNA, they're opting to farm it out. They're opting to just defend the tower against Tristana. Yeah, that's understandable. Because when you're playing Sivir against Tristana, you can abuse the shield. Because when you're standing next to the turret, you can use the shield, regain some mana, so you clear the waves comfortably, so they're not going to face any problems with the tower defending.
But right now, looking at the lanes, Team Singularity has a really strong laning phase coming into the early game. And if Sejuani falls back early on, I don't think Gameplay DNA has anything to offer. Because what are you going to do when you don't have the Trinity Force on Corki, the Trinity Force on Jax? They have really expensive items to finish before they get their power spikes. So I'm really interested how Team Singularity is going to play out the first 3 levels with the buffs. Are they going to try to invade? Are they going to try to get 3 buffs and deny Sejuani some buffs? We're going to find out.
As it goes for Jax for the top lane, even if he gets ahead, even if he gets a solo kill, I think that he's still gonna face some troubles facing that Darius in the split push. If it's gonna be 4-1 composition, if they're gonna try to dance around Baron and leave the top laners at the bottom, it's gonna be really difficult for Jax to lane against Darius, because Darius itself is a really hard counter.
It's true, and what's more, Darius, when he gets a lead, it's pretty much impossible to stop him. What are you gonna do when Darius is wrecking faces, ulting with the 2 damage? If you come top lane and you don't have enough damage for the initial burst, Darius is just gonna kill both of you. I'm seeing pings coming in, people preparing, and it's actually pretty safe. And a pause coming in right away. Maybe somebody forgot to get their spells on.
All right, so teams have locked in their champions. What are your expectations when you're seeing the champions, seeing the additional teleport for Team Gameplay DNA on Corki and no teleport on Croxen? So what do you think? How this game is going to end up being played by both teams?
I think Cassiopeia is going to try to push out Corki into the mid and maybe try to invade the jungle, get some vision versus Sejuani, because it's really crucial for Cassiopeia to survive those early phases before she gets a couple of items. Top lane, I think it's going to be a skill matchup. Pretty sure both players are going to try to play aggressive. Maybe we might even see some ganks and counter ganks in the top lane. While bottom lane is more of a straightforward lane where you just farm it out, try to, you know, get the lead. A little bit of CS there, a little bit of CS there, trying to survive with your tower. Of course, Rakan and Tristana has the upper hand in a completely pale lane, while Braum and Cyber excels in the ganks, in the 2v2s, straight up fighting.
30 seconds.
Yeah, but both teams are just taking those tank junglers. So as you mentioned before, the game is looking passive so far. Both teams are not invading. They're trying to get some vision, trying to get some information on the chokes. And yeah, the tank junglers, they can't even gank before level 4. They have to get level 4 Sejuani, they have to get level 4 Caesar. And actually I expected some Nidalee or Shaco or something. They have those pocket picks to play really aggressively and snowball the game, like through the early stages, especially against Cassiopeia when you're playing against scaling champion. But actually both teams are really comfortable with playing in the team fights. They have the good management, they have the coaches, they have practiced everything, so let's see what happens.
And it's actually really interesting. Corki opted out for that Doran's shield coming into the Cassiopeia lane, trying to sustain, trying to survive, not going for that potion as we tend to see a lot. But we're seeing junglers actually starting in the top side. Divider coming in with the blue buff. ZTY is helping him out.
I think that Divider starting from the blue buff, he's making a little bit of disadvantage for himself, because the most efficient path for him is to start at the Graves, but he started at the blue buff to do an unexpected route. Maybe he's doing a level 3 gank on the top lane to snowball the Jax. It's just up to him. Being creative with Sejuani is actually really favorable for them. And bot lane is actually getting ahead. We were predicting that Tristana is going to outpush in level 1, but actually Gameplay DNA just forces Team Singularity bot lane to go under their tower.
But Team Singularity is just more than welcome to farming out under the tower, forcing them to push. They don't have their jungler in the bottom side. The jungler is actually doing just as red. And we're seeing a lot of action in the top lane. ZTY actually getting into an unfavorable trade. Kairos is pushing in the mid lane and Sejuani is not even there. So Darius is getting the upper hand because it's quite hard to farm under the tower early on.
Yeah, both top laners started with corruption potions, so they're quite squishy. They have the sustain, but they're quite squishy against the jungler ganks. So I'm expecting Sejuani to go top lane, but actually he manages to go to... He actually is going to the bot lane to the Wraith side. So now both junglers are at the bot side. They were expecting to face themselves on the cross map pressure, but it's probably going to be a 3 versus 3 situation in the bottom lane.
And we're seeing mid lane pretty stale into the middle side of the lane, nobody pushing in, pretty much equal, while we're seeing both junglers in the bottom side. Actually, Zac, I think, is having a better path, because he's gonna probably get level 4 soon after the Braum.
And what touches mid lane, I really like Corki picking into Cassiopeia, because Cassiopeia is really strong at abusing Abyssal Mask, because you can go tank and still do a lot of damage from your base damage. Oh, actually, careful, Croxen is going in, and maybe it was close for Corki to flash away, because I just went out on 1E, but Croxen was just too low on mana right there.
I think Croxen's gonna try for the play, but Sejuani was already there, so he was a bit too scared to go all out, but it's gonna force a teleport for sure. Corki's forced to go back to the base, and I think it's a pretty unfavorable back as well. You're not gonna be able to get anything important with this back.
Well, he got the refillable potion. He still has no wards. He's teleporting in back to the lane against Zac with no vision ward, so it's going to be difficult for him to survive those ganks. Even your Corki, you have the Valkyria to get away from the Zac's E, but it's still difficult to predict those paths because, as we know, Zac has the most creative paths of ganking. He can go over the Wraith Wall, he can go over the basically anywhere in the mid lane.
True, when he gets that level 7, his E is just so huge in range. He can do anything he wants. And now we're seeing Kerberos doing aggressive things on Jax, and Jax is not being able to actually sustain it. He's out of potions. Darius still has 2 potions. He has full health. So it's looking pretty good for Kerberos in the top lane.
Now we're seeing Zac going back to top lane. As you mentioned, Jax has no potions. He still has his flash up, has the dodge. But if he's being forced to use that in a 1v1 and he has no escaping tools, if he uses his abilities to farm under the tower, he might be in trouble. Actually, no, he's just going for another Wraith camp. So both junglers are trying to opt for as most efficient path if they can. And we're seeing that Divider is actually picking up the 10 CS lead already in the jungle.
But I think he's actually, right now, wasting some time. He's not able to do anything in the bottom lane. As we know, Tristana, Rakan are really slippery. You can't really gank them that easily. I think the ganks, they might work out when they're level 6, but not quite yet when they're level 4.
I'm actually surprised that both mid laners didn't pick up any vision wards. They're just going back back to the lane, just picking up some potions, picking up some additional mana, going for items to win the 1v1. But no vision is secured just yet. Maybe playing with cleanse in the mid lane as Croxen is giving a lot of confidence for him just to sustain that lane and be safe against the Sejuani ganks.
But actually, we're seeing Croxen having a way better bag compared to Dolmas, and actually Dolmas used the teleport, so Croxen right now, he's sitting in a perfect spot in that mid lane. Yeah, and we're seeing some aggression. Dolmas getting really low, half HP, forced to use the Valkyrie.
If he uses his Valkyrie like this, he's really vulnerable to the ganks. He is forced to flash away if Zac is around the mid lane. So next time, if he loses the trade like that, it's going to be really difficult for him to survive because the refillable potion is already down. He has no stacks on it. So Kerberos is just dominating in the mid lane. Even though he's not picking up any solo kills or getting that CS lead, he's just applying pressure to the map.
And now I want to point out that in the top lane, Darius has already reached level 6, and Zac instantly plays around that lane. Both Jax went back to the base, picked up the Ninja Tabi, and now we're seeing aggression from Mixmati onto the Nofer. But I think they're just going to disengage, getting in some quite favorable trades. And Shifter now is in trouble, forced to heal.
And a solo kill in the top lane. ZT White picks up a solo kill against Kerberos. And now Team Gameplay DNA picking up another kill. That's a 2-0 for Team Gameplay DNA. Lithuanians are ahead against the international team.
And Darius made a mistake.
Some action in the mid lane, nice. Ultimate by Croxen, he's trying to pick a solo kill, but that's not gonna be enough. That's 3-0 already. All lanes are getting crushed, and Team Gameplay DNA manages to do what they have to do on the home stage.
And what is Team Singularity thinking? Darius over pushing the lane, didn't back quite yet. Jax went to the base, picked up the movement speed. He could just chase him down. Bottom lane, aggression coming in from Shifter and Nixmati. Zac was not even there. While all lanes died, Zac wasn't even ganking one, so pretty miscommunicating situation from Team Singularity, and we're seeing the Lithuanians, their practice is working out the way they want it.
And actually, the jungler was used insanely perfectly. Caesar was just moving around bot lane and mid lane. He was like, oh, I'm about to help the bot lane to win the 2v2, but then he saw that mid lane is getting ganked, and he actually messed up and didn't respond to any of the ganks, any of the action on the map, and it's ended up that they're giving away a 1,000 lead to Team Gameplay DNA.
And it's really 3-0 throughout all the lanes. That's what Gameplay DNA wants to win this game. They have the lead onto all the lanes, even though they're a bit down in CS, in top lane and mid lane. But coming in with those kills is just a perfect situation for them right now.
But the sad news, it's a Cloud Drake. It's the least contested Drake in the game. They have the early lead, but they can't really translate it to the mid game because Wind Drake doesn't really give you any of advantage. If they can't push out the bottom against Tristana because they have the 2 longsword advantage in the bot lane, they have the outpush potential, but as it goes for the next stage, they can't really translate it.
It's true, and actually Jax scales pretty well with Cyber's ultimate, and if Darius is not able to pick out any kills early on or when he finishes his cleaver, he's done for. He's not going to be able to do anything versus Jax because you can just juke his Q empowered damage with Jax's Q. You just jump on him and all in him. We're seeing some trades in the bottom lane. That's to be expected. Rakan coming in with those shields constantly. But Nofer and Pulsas are doing pretty well, pushing out Tristan and Rakan into the lane.
Actually, I did not expect this lane to happen in this phase. They picked up a 2v2 kill, which was least expected against Rakan. Rakan is like a really mobile champion, but Pulsas just managed to hit that Q. They stuck up the passive, got the stun, and just got a kill.
And it's Braum in the early game. What are you going to do? If you tend to fight for long times, Braum is going to win out. If you have a ranged support, you want to poke them out, get them low, then engage. But they went all in with full HP both. So I'm not quite sure what happened right there.
Now Zach is in the top lane. He's ready to jump on the STY, but he's actually didn't manage to juke out. The dodge is already here. He's in 2v1 situation. He has no flash up. He actually might be in trouble. He's trying to jump away, but the 4 stacks are already there. Darius is trying to dunk, and that's going to be another kill for... actually, it's the first kill for Darius.
I think Team Singularity are thinking properly. They need to get Darius ahead. If Darius is ahead, they don't have any problems coming into the mid game.
Now the cross map pressure and the bot lane divider missed his ultimate. Matty just holds them away. He's trying to get away. Matty has no flash. He's trying to get some abilities down. Exhausting Cassiopeia even flash does not connect the stun, but actually Team Gameplay didn't manage to get safe here, and they're not getting the first blood tower, even though engaged looked nice. Now Croxon is in trouble.
Croxon is getting down. He overstepped his boundaries. Divider coming in with those stun. Perfect play by Gameplay DNA, and they're gonna trade out at the tower as well.
The engage looked really sloppy in the bot lane. Divider missed his ultimate. The engage was not there, even though Team Singularity's bot lane didn't have the summoners, but they did not get the first blood tower. Darius and the Zac got the cross map pressure first. They engaged the initiation in the top lane, and even though it looked pretty nice for Team Gameplay DNA, it turns out that the game is still pretty equal.
Yes, and Cassiopeia still doesn't have enough items in order to just burst out and have those long fights. She just was bursted out instantly. She got CC'd, and the follow-up CC by Braum is just crucial. So Croxon thinking a bit, maybe too big of himself.
The point is that he has cleanse, but Team Gameplay, they have so much crowd control. You can't use that cleanse. He was about to cleanse Brown passive, but then he got knocked up. Then he has the divider stun, and he had the cleanse, but he didn't even use it because he realized that he cannot do anything without it.
And we're seeing Damas with the package coming into the jungle, invading instantly, trying to use the package, and they're swapping lanes. And I'm interested, are they going to try to dive the Darius?
They have the package, they have the item lead on Corki, they have to do some pressure because, as we mentioned before, it's a win Drake, so there's nothing to lose. If you're letting the Team Singularity take the Drake instead of a top lane tower, if you get the Herald and the top lane tower for the Drake, it's still going to be a really favorable trade for Team Gameplay DNA.
Of course. Even probably getting Rift or instead of the Cloud Drake is more important, because if you tend to win a team fight and you manage to use the Rift Herald, it's 2 towers instantly, no doubt about it. Now we're seeing a teleport coming into the bottom lane. ZTY is in big trouble. Caesar picks up him. Matty jumps in, and what is ZTY gonna do? Nothing. He's just left there to be stranded while TNA are trying to get the top lane tower. 4 of Team Singularity members are on the bot lane with the kill, pushing it. Now Croxon has a lot of time to poke out the mid lane, fully out Corki.
He saw that his team is swapping the lanes. He had to expect that they're gonna do a cross map pressure on the bot lane. So I think that was quite of a game map mistake from Team Gameplay. They had to just inform the Jax, just stay under the tower, get some vision, don't play aggressively, don't try to defend the tower, because you're not gonna do it 1 versus 4. And actually Domas might be getting in trouble. He has the Valkyrie away, and 2 towers going down, and it's favorable trade for Team Singularity.
And actually Caesar playing out that perfectly, going with the Q and using his auto tap on the tower, connecting tower with Corki. What a nice interaction right there. And the jump coming in from Caesar. He's level 9, 5 level on his E. The jumps are just crazy, and I think the ganks are gonna come in right now. He was power farming throughout the early game, didn't quite gank much, but now we're seeing throughout the map movements, Team Singularity, even though they're behind on kills, they managed to grab the gold lead.
They managed to get the gold lead, but Herald is in the pocket for Team Gameplay, so they can use that in the mid lane. They have the Sivir to clear out the waste really fast, and Tristan is just not going to be able to do that.
Yes, and Cyber already finished her Essence Reaver, while Tristana is still slacking on, just parts of different items. And they're going for the Cloud Drake.
Ooh, I think that's a map mistake from Team Gameplay. They're going for the Wind Drake, which is not valuable at all. They're confirming to leave that mid lane tower against Corki. Oh, and actually Thomas manages to defend it alone. Both are going in, and Corkson might be in trouble. He has no flash. He's trying to get away from the bottom side choke, but now it's a split up team for Team Singularity. Now the Caesar jumps in. Nice stun on Team Gameplay. Two members, they are getting shreked in the team fight. The one dunk connects, and that's a one kill for Team Singularity already. Doma's going down as well. 3 versus 5. There's no escape for them. All of the members are in huge trouble. Divider manages to flash away, but that's 4 of them going down, and Team Singularity, no doubts, taking the mid lane tower as well.
And what a nice engage was by Zag. Just jumped from downtown, coming in with the ultimate, knocking out everyone. Perfectly played, baited. I think it was a pretty obvious bait. Croxon was going into the jungle. He knew he can just do a Corki while his team collapses onto Gameplay DNA members. What a nice play coming in by Team Singularity, and we are already seeing 15 minutes. Sloppy start, but they have the 5,000 gold lead.
Yeah, even though they had the sloppy start, they were not behind on gold that much, but now they managed to get one perfect team fight. They have the turret advantage. They have 4 turret advantage, actually. And so they're, as you mentioned, 5,000 lead in 15 minutes. That's a lot.
That's a lot, and as I said, if Darius gets ahead, Jax has no possible way of dueling him. And we're seeing that right now. Kerberos has already finished his cleaver, while Jax is still only on 2 parts of Trinity Force, not even having a Sheen. So it's a really bad situation for ZTY. And that death in the bottom lane pretty much burned his chances of dueling Darius.
But the Trinity Force is already there for Corki. He's scaling really well, but you cannot forget that this Cassiopeia on the enemy team, so it's going to be really difficult to face that in the team fights. And what touches this team fight that happened just 2 moments ago, Cassiopeia was having a huge trouble getting away from Team Gameplay DNA. So Team Gameplay DNA, they thought that they have the advantage of the position in the team fight, but Zag jump was just way too good. He connected the stun on 2 of members of Team Gameplay DNA, then he ulted them away into the team. Oh, and just...
and Cyber used her ultimate just to get near Team Singularity, so they were an ultimate down already into the team fight. Plus, ZTY was nowhere near there with the items in order to fight. He just needs to scale. He's not able to fight just yet.
Especially in the team fights. If you're equal with Darius and you're fighting in the team fights, you're still like not that useful as a Darius is. You have to have that split push pressure. If you cannot 1v1 Darius, then Jax basically becomes really vulnerable to anything in this game. And that's why Jax is not being locked up in competitive play as we see. It's not that often.
Yes.
Because if you fall behind, you basically have nowhere to go.
It's really hard to play around the ganks with the Jax early on. You need those items in order to actually play it properly. And if actually an engage on Proxin, but Caesar is already there to poke them out. And is he gonna survive? The teleport coming in by the Corki. Caesar is in a big trouble. Passive is popped. Teleport coming in by Kerberos. Are they gonna do anything else? No, it gets cancelled, and Caesar just dies for nothing.
Now they have the pressure, they have enough time to push that mid lane, but Team Singularity, they're not going back. Tristana pushed the top lane wave, and actually even though they sacrificed Zach to die right there, and they still have enough gold lead from the minion waves crashing into the towers in the side lanes.
And that's what happens when you don't have any pressure on the other lanes. You try to group, you try to take some picks, and only 1 kill is not gonna help them. A tower trading into Zach, I think that's favorable. You're getting all the outer towers. Not quite sure what they're gonna do. Domas has his package, but is he gonna be able to use it anywhere usefully?
I think picking up package right now was a mistake because some of the Corki players, they're saving up his package. As we're seeing right now, he just used the package for basically nothing to get into the lane, and Baron is spawning in 2 minutes. You have to save up that package to be stronger around the Baron dance because they have no vision. If you have no package, you're losing the pressure as a Corki.
Yeah, it's true, and it's really important now that Zach doesn't have his passive. He cannot engage that easily. You could have used that package to just divide the team.
Look at that, Zach is about to jump, but actually he manages to stay calm and just get that vision advantage. And look at the Baron area. All of the vision is just neglected from Team Gameplay DNA. They have absolutely no clue what is happening right there. Baron is about to spawn in 1 minute and a half. Ooh.
Oh, what an interesting arm length of the Zach. But actually, Tristana is nearly to that Infinity Edge. She already has Shift coming in with the 2 parts of Infinity Edge. When she gets that item, it's going to be really hard for Gameplay DNA to win the fights.
But look at the vision again. All 2 pink wards for Team Gameplay DNA. They're placed in the bottom side. Actually, Cork is getting in trouble. Divided is there to save him out, but actually the stun connects, and now he's getting down. Thomas is already down in the team fight, so it's 4 versus 5. Team Gameplay DNA, they're trying their best, but actually nobody from Team Singularity goes down. Divided is trying to re-engage. Shifter might be in trouble. He's forced to flash away. Now Cesar is forcing the ultimate there to Darius. Darius has the ultimate. He might pick up some kills. And actually, so many flashes going down. Divider is being done. That's a double and a triple kill for Darius.
Kerberos coming in from the side with those items, just picking up tons of kills. And I said Darius is going to be huge in this game, and we're seeing that from Kerberos. What an astonishing play there to pick them up. And actually, they used Flash of Sejuani's just to kill the Rakan. They used so much in order to secure the kill, and they completely forgot for the rest of the members of Team Singularity. So, an amazing fight, amazing engage actually coming in from Gameplay DNA, counter-engaging the Zac initial engage, but just a bit slacking in those team fights. I'd say a little bit of miscommunication.
How can you not slack in the team fights when you're fighting 4 versus 5? Thomas just got demolished in the beginning of the team fight, and then they re-engaged with a number disadvantage. So that was quite obvious that they're going to lose the team fight. Re-engaging, having the number disadvantage, even though you're under the tower, the Kerberos and Cesar, they're way too tanky to tank those towers.
It's true, just insane. Cesar and Kerberos right now, they're just an unstoppable force. Zac was farming in the early game, manages to finish up 2 items. Actually, Warmox finished up, and in 20 minutes, having those 3,000 health, it's just insane in this situation.
Yeah, what we're seeing on Team Gameplay DNA team composition, they have the 1-3-1 composition. It's perfect for them. They have 2 teleports. They have Jax on the side. If he gets ahead, then yeah, that is cool. You can play out the 1-3-1. But what goes for the team fights? Oh, actually, Cesar might be in trouble. They're picking up the jungler. They're trying to re-engage, but now it's a 4 versus 5 situation for Team Singularity. Tristana might get stunned by the Brown's passive, but what a nice hook up by Darius. Darius is there with the dunks again. He picks up 1 kill. Tristana does tons of damage with Infinity Edge, and Shiv already tries to get some kills. In return, Zeti tries to get 1 kill, and he manages to make it for the 2 and 3.
But now it's a Baron situation coming in from Team Singularity. Zac is coming in 8 seconds. In this Gameplay, they ain't gonna try to do anything about it.
Oh, they might actually have no idea what is happening around Nash, because, oh, the blue trinket was used, so they actually realized what is happening. Zac is not there. Divider might go for a trade. Oh, they're not letting Divider to go for the Baron. He still has enough HP, but is that going to be enough? He's not going to survive that. He actually manages to get to Cassiopeia, and Cassiopeia gets double kill. So there's no Baron play for now, but double kill, and Zac coming in for Baron. Oh, it's going to be really difficult for them to defend at this one.
They're still going for the Baron. Xmati has that. Warlord has 2 items already. 6,000 health. Only Brown there. He's not going to be able to do anything unless he engages right now. 3,000 health on that Baron. And it's just a free Baron coming in for Team Singularity.
And also picking up that double kill for Cassiopeia that scales to late game team fights insanely well. Oh, that's going to be really difficult, especially when they're having troubles in the team fights.
Yeah, and we said, what's the ribbon ban? Team Singularity probably was prepared for something really interesting. Maybe they were scouting in ZTY. He was playing a ribbon or anything, but we're seeing that Darius perfectly coming into the composition versus that Jax in the top lane.
He only plays carry champions, is STY. As I mentioned, he's an AD carry that did a transition to top lane.
And that's showing. The death on the bottom lane was completely unexpected, because you saw that the lane swap was happening. You didn't have anyone on the map from Team Singularity. It was pretty obvious they're going to come and try to get the bottom lane tower. But right now, we're seeing some aggression coming in to the bottom lane, actually using 2 lanes, 3 lanes to buff up the minions. And I think Team Gameplay DNA are going to try to do a desperate engage into the bot lane.
They have the pink ward in the bush, so they're still waiting. They're doing a sneaky engage on the bottom lane, but they actually smelled it.
What a close call.
Shifter places the ward. Tristana might be getting in trouble. He manages to jump out of the way. The ultimate is not going to be enough. Exhaust connecting on Xmati. That's 1 kill for Team Gameplay DNA.
And what happened? Team Singularity just backed off from all the lanes. They were pushing in, they were scared that they were camping somewhere. And actually, Gameplay DNA pulls up the trigger and kills Tristana there, neglecting the push and having a minute, 2 minutes to take a grasp of air.
Yeah, now they have that breathing room because Tristana has 5 kills, basically getting close to 3 items, so that's a huge threat from the Team Gameplay DNA. And shutting that down before the team fight, before the push, delaying that Baron buff advantage, I think that's really well played and abusing of the vision advantage.
And actually, Croxin opts out not to go for the mask. He just goes straight on full AP versus Team Gameplay DNA. Not even scared of the 1v1s versus Karki, just opting out for full damage, completing his 3rd item actually. And we're seeing a lot of items finished up and picked up by Team Singularity. Tristana with those 3 items, Rakan finishing up his Ardens, his support item. Darius actually opting out for Righteous Glory, so he has that extra engage potential as well.
And he has the flash up too. Doma still has no flash up. Actually, Kerberos might be getting in trouble. Team Gameplay DNA are grouping up for a single member again. And Team Singularity actually might be looking for a disengage. Cesar has the ultimate now. He ults right there. Rakan with the double knock-up, legendary on the Kerberos Darius. Xmati is going in with additional kill, but Team Singularity, they're not stopping right there. They're picking up one after another, and that's triple kill for Tristana. That actually might be the game.
And how tanky Darius is. They were just shooting him for 15 seconds straight up, all members of the team. But they didn't manage to kill him. That's actually insane. Team Singularity going in for the Nexus Tower. Now 2nd Nexus Tower being dropped down. They're trying to engage on Nofer. Nofer is fighting 1 versus 1 versus Caesar, but the Nexus is already there. It's open 25 minutes and 30 seconds. Team Singularity picks up game 1.
What goes for the champion select? As I mentioned before, Team Singularity, they were playing in cross-border esports, so they were showing all their cards, they were showing all their strategies in the previous event. So I thought that Team Gameplay, they have new strategies, they have new tactics how to beat up in the champion select, but it turns out that Team Singularity, they have they have everything sorted out. They have the Darius again, the Jax, and the STY were having lots of troubles, even though he picked up a solo kill in the lane.
Yes, and we saw Croxin, mid laner of Team Singularity, pointing out some things that he wants probably different, because they were slacking in the early game. They made some mistakes, which were not forgivable, but they managed to pick up the slack, managed to prove themselves that they're worth. And I'm really interested to see what this Gameplay DNA gonna do for the 2nd game.
They have to change something. Oh, and now we're here in the buggy. Maybe something was wrong with the machine for Team Gameplay DNA, because ours is just working perfectly.
Our machine is going in strong, but Gameplay DNA, maybe they, I don't know, they forgot their whale, but what was happening? The
early game was looking really good for them. And the huge mistake from STY when they were swapping the lanes, 4 members in the top lane from your team, so it's going to be obvious. The opposing team is going to do the same and try to take the bot lane towers. STY was trying to defend those towers alone, then he suicided, and it turns out that they get the 2 towers in the bot lane, then the 1 team fight in the mid lane. So it was looking like a messy game for Team Gameplay DNA.
And I think what's important to see here, if you manage to shut down ZTY, Gameplay DNA are not going to be able to come back. Because we've known ZTY had some problems coming in. He was playing on those carry champions, and when he got behind, he was really having trouble. And Team Singularity acknowledges that and say, okay, let's pick up the champion that wins the lane. We have the safe matchups, let's say. We have a farming jungler. It's going to be no problem for us. We're just going to try to do our best. And we saw that Darius picking up that triple kill, surviving all the team members. It was just phenomenal play by the whole Team Singularity.
And even though they banned the Cho'Gath, they banned the Kayle, 2 main champions of Kerberos, he picks up Darius into Jax and manages to win the lane. Actually, he didn't manage to win the lane, but he managed to win the game, so it doesn't really matter if you win the lane or not.
He was having some trouble in the early games. ZTY was pretty good on the 1v1, but when the junglers came in, there was some miscommunication maybe with Divider, or they were thinking, all right, we're just going to spend time onto the mid lane because Croxin is playing so aggressive, we need to shut him down, we need to just, you know, delete Croxin from the game, but Team Singularity were just perfect. I think Zac ganks, when he ganked, were just on point, every single gank. Either force the summoner, or force the tower, or a kill.
Yeah, but Team Gameplay DNA, they have to reset. They have to remember that's a best of 3 series. That's not a best of 1. So they have to reset their mentality. Now they're on the red side. Now they can abuse the 2-ban phase. They can pick up an advantage in the mid lane or in top lane, get the winning matchups in the lanes. So I'm expecting them to come up with something new, with something totally fresh and not seen in the qualifiers.